title.
Guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope that y'all are doing great. I hope you're doing good, and if you're not, that's okay too. I hope that this video entertains you. Have water, hydration, because while it's hot, no, because this weather is not weathering. Why is it so hot? Like, I don't even know. Like, the audacity for it to be this hot is actually audacity. Anywho, so we'll be doing the sequel for God's Beautiful Mistake. So the second book, I'm not sure if in the previous video I had said that it has a second book, but it does have a second book. This video is going to be a bit shorter because as I said, it's not necessarily fully focused on Ezron and Eziela, and the second book is called Regrets. So this book is more so focused on Lucifer and what was her name? Madeline. Is that how you say it? Madeline, I think. I think that was her name. And she was sort of like a friend of Ezron's. Whenever he was locked up in the dungeon, she would be the one that looks after him. And then, like, she was one of the gods, sort of, and she'd, they'd talk every now and then and all of that. So they built some sort of a, Ezron doesn't call it a friendship per se, but some sort of a mutual bond of being friendly with each other, basically. So she's a friend of his, and we end up finding more about her in the first book. Not too much. We don't go into too much detail about her, but she's there as a side character, and she becomes close friends with Eziela as well. And then Lucifer ends up finding out in the second book that she is his mate, and he locked her up in his dungeon, and he tortured her for hours and hours on end, and I don't even know why. He also didn't know why he did it, and it was just it was just a lot going on. And then after that, she didn't want anything to do with him. She was like, you know what, leave me be, okay? Because you clearly want nothing to do with me. That's fine. You could have just told me from the beginning instead of putting me through all this pain and torturing me and stuff. You could have just left me alone. And then it just goes through about their relationship, how much they get to know each other more. And at first, things are a bit rocky because he tortured her. We can't just move away from that and be like, it's nothing, it's a little bit of it happens every Tuesday. Really, it's really not that deep. That's how a bonding session. Not really, you can't do that. So at first she wanted nothing to do with him, and then he starts feeling sorry for what he did, and he starts apologizing to her and try to actually build some sort of a relationship with her, and she's just not for it. She's like, not here. You messed up your first chance, you're not going to mess up this one. It's not happening. So then her and Eziela end up getting closer as friends, and then if I'm not mistaken, I hadn't read this book in a while. I just did a quick run through before I did this video because I didn't really feel like reading it again. So I'm just gonna tell you what I remember. So after a while, Ezron and Eziela had to go to Earth. Yes, I think he took them to Earth because God and the other gods and goddesses were trying to separate them. I think so. Something along those lines. And then they went to Earth, and then he had a bit of a friend on Earth. And that person helped them stay there for a while. And then, yeah, they were on Earth for a while to get away from everything. And then while they were there, they spent more time together and all of that. And then they had to go back to, did they go back to heaven? Yeah. And then they did like one final meeting of like them meeting and everything. And they were just like, okay, Ezra, you can't just be stealing Eziela away and expect us to just like not call you back. And he's like, but y'all don't want to leave us alone. So what must I do? You don't want to leave us alone. We just want to chill in peace. Mara, you don't want to. Just leave us. Leave us be. Is it that much of a difficulty? No. Yeah. So then, after that, some dinner happened of them actually fully like accepting them together. And they were like, okay, fine, we'll leave you alone this time. We actually mean it this time. And as I'm saying, like this book is just mostly focusing on that little trip of theirs to Earth and Lucifer and Miss Gail. And then all I remember is that at the end of the book, oh yeah, Lucifer took a break from hell for a while. Yeah. The ending that I remember was that Eziela and Ezron ended up having kids. They ended up having kids. They had like two, and she was pregnant. So, yeah, that's that. This review was absolutely not that good. I haven't read the book in a while, and I didn't really feel like rereading it because I've been reading other books lately. And I was thinking that next week, when I do my next video, there's this new book. There's a couple of books I've been reading. I've been reading like 5 books at the same time. I've been reading like 5 books at the same time. So there's these couple of books that I'm also going to do reviews on next week. And it's gonna be a BTS fanfic. It's gonna be very nice. I got some of the recommendations, I got them from TikTok, and then some of them I found them while scrolling through Wattpad. Or like, you know, when you say story info and then you scroll to the bottom after reading the little description thing, and then there's a few books there at the bottom that you can look through. That's how I found some of the stories as well. And then some of them were in my boredom. I just type in BTS, and some of them would pop up. Some of them would be nice. Some of them would be the cliche. He looked into the crowd. He saw me, and boom, him and I are married. He saw me in the middle of the crowd, in nothing but darkness, but he saw me, and he was like, her, and he told them to bring me backstage, and he's like, he wants to be with me, and his fans were accepting and happily ever after. So unrealistic. When I read BTS fanfics, I'm not here for realism. I'm not here for, delusion. As much as Wattpad sells delusion, that's literally the job of Wattpad, to sell delusion. There needs to be some realism in there. So I prefer reading stories where the BTS member themselves is not a BTS member. Do you get what I'm saying? Where in the book, it's just a regular person, a regular man, living a regular life. You know, I prefer it that way, when they just use them as a character, just as a face, and then the character is just a regular person who's living a specific type of life. Something that is far away from BTS. They're not an idol. They're not a celebrity. If they are well known in some books, it's because he's some sort of a CEO, or he's some like well-renowned lawyer, or like a criminal. You know, there's always those mafia ones as well, like a criminal or something. So there's a couple of books I've been reading lately, and some of them are AMBWs. So for my black queens out there, y'all can enjoy some of these. So I will be back with those next week. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing a review next week or my top 3 recommendations. I'm not going to tell you yet what they are, but we'll see. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. I'm excited. I'm excited. I love you, I love you, I love you. Have a good day. Bye.